Good morning. Anyway, Jeremy and Joe Kelly here, Alt Joe, and Owen Parker as well. We're going to put together a parlay tonight on these games, right?
on tomorrow's games, at least?
On the weekend's games. Yeah. We're just going to each pick a leg and get a super terrific parlay for the NFL action.
We will all fist fight for the rights to Brandon Cooks over 19 in receiving yards in this game. Which I think is a crazy low number for him.
How about just the words of Nick right there? It kind of boils it down pretty simply. If they lose, it will be a huge failure.
Mm-hmm.
What will? What will have been the huge failure? Losing to Jacksonville is the failure. Letting it get to this point is the failure. I mean, setback, failure, whatever. You got Bills Mafia talking amongst themselves in the group chats. Maybe people feel like the Jags are overconfident. I don't know. They're underdogs. This is the time of year where it is everybody's got their own reason why they're being disrespected. It's constant what this is now.
Right.
Who's being the most disrespected of any team? How could the Panthers be 10-point dogs against a team that they beat earlier in the year?
Yep.
That's where we're at. So, I don't know. I feel good about it.
I think that the failure for me would be more about letting it get to this place.
Yeah.
Where whatever they lose because of that, and I would imagine there would be something that would come down to a weakness on the roster. How did you let it get to a place where your quarterback is Josh Allen and you're not in a position to have that be an advantage for you? That especially, if Allen doesn't have a
Josh Allen game,
then I'm going to want, unless he's missing wide open throws like he did against Philadelphia, I'm going to want to blame the organization overall for building a team that I think we know, you'd always rather have this guy than the guy on the other side this Sunday. And when you let quarterbacks like that beat you, I think it says something about the job you've done surrounding Josh Allen with the best talent possible.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like they have the best talent possible. So that to me would be the failure. More so than I think what he's probably getting at, which is more just the opportunity in front of them with certain teams not in the playoff field. Because I do think that there are teams in the field right now that are very, very dangerous that I wouldn't assume in any year the Bills would just beat. But in this year, I think, I'm much less confident.
I was thinking this morning as I woke up, when will I pick against them? Because I'm not picking against them this week.
And you haven't in a long time.
Right. I haven't in a long time. Last time I picked them to lose. Boy, it might have been the Chiefs.
You didn't pick them in the Chiefs playoff game last year?
I probably did.
What about the Chiefs playoff game before that?
I know that I did. I know that I did that
You
one.
Picked them to win or you picked against them?
No, to win.
Okay.
Last time I picked them to lose a game might have been the Chiefs' regular season game this year. They came in 3 straight wins. They started to look like their offense was really clicking.
Right.
But going forward, I'm picking them to win this game. If they win, then it might be their best win of the season. If they do.
Yeah.
It might be their best win of the season. And certainly will be their most important win. Then let's say they go to play Denver. Am I going to pick them to lose to Denver?
I would not pick them to lose to Denver.
I don't think I will either.
I would not.
If it's not Denver, it's probably Houston.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll pick them to lose to Houston. They'll have, in theory, a better plan. They'll have a not concussed left tackle and a not injured right tackle. And maybe, more protection schemes. And the defense...
Is that one of those games they didn't have Kincaid also?
Maybe that sounds right.
I don't think they had Kincaid in that game. Right. And we'll see if they won and would he make it through the Jags game?
True.
We'll see. But he didn't play in the Houston game.
I started to think this when will I pick against them? That doesn't because I want to say this in 2 ways. I don't know if I will pick against them at any point.
I know the answer,
but that doesn't mean I am picking them to win the Super Bowl. I can't quite pick 4 at the time.
Right.
But I'm almost 1 game at a timing this. All right, I'll let you know when I pick against them. Your answer is going to be if I see them play the Rams.
Yes.
Now, here's the mind game. If they actually get there and play the Rams, I'm telling you today and every day until we get to they're in the Super Bowl, yeah, I'll probably pick them to lose to the Rams. But once they get to the Super Bowl and they're playing the Rams, I'm going to pick the Bills to win. Because to get there, we will have seen, all right, Josh is doing the Josh thing.
Super Bowl week, too.
Super
the
Bowl
excitement.
week.
Yeah.
Sure. What I'm kind of hoping we are at the precipice of is this is going to be Josh Allen's legacy month. He's going to get one of these. We have seen Patrick Mahomes make the Super Bowl and say, I don't think that team is even that good. And yet they got there. Is this Josh's time to do that? Where they get there and other people might say, like, wow, Josh Allen really did it. I don't know if they're that good. Who do they got catching the ball? Who's on that defense? They keep getting by. So maybe it's the start of legacy month for him. It's the start of, his stature growing even more because they get the job done. All that said, every 5 minutes I just think, I don't know what's going to happen in this game. I'm going to pick them to win it, but I don't know what's going to happen in this game.
If he has a legacy month, as you say, doesn't someone, what does it look like? Doesn't someone have to be riding along with him in the pass game for that to happen? Doesn't someone have to get hot with him? Because, I was looking back actually this yesterday a little bit on, some of these quarterbacks that got hot when Flacco got hot in the playoffs and he won his one Super Bowl.
Jacoby Jones? Who was it?
It was Anquan Bolden.
Okay.
Bolden led every category in receiving during the playoffs. He averaged 95 yards per game. He had 4 touchdowns in 4 games. Bolden was right there with him. And Torrey Smith, I think, had some big numbers too, but it was Bolden. That dude got hot in the playoffs for Baltimore. He was a little bit older at that point. But you got somebody. This would require someone, I think. They're not going to... I don't think Allen has legacy month with everybody eats, where he's spreading the ball around to everyone. I think more likely it would be, they found something in Brandon Cooks, and he had one last thing left to deliver in the league, even in the year 2026. He's been around forever. Or Kincaid stays healthy. I think that's probably the most likely. I think his health is major for the playoffs because I think he would be the guy that would be most likely to say, all right, he got hot. The playoffs, maybe they started using him more, and fingers crossed he stayed healthy, and he was a great tight end. Gronk, the couple of times that he got hot with Brady in playoff runs, to me, somebody's got to show up with him if he's going to have legacy month.
Right. I'm jumping on that point. I'm starting to look at rushing yards in the Super Bowl. If the Bills were to win it, how many yards does Cook have in the game that wins it? Because the Bills are built to win, and when Cook runs really well, they play really well. Barkley, in last year's Super Bowl, had 25 carries for 57 yards.
Yeah.
And they blew out the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because they could throw it. They had a pick 6. And I'm thinking back to Super Bowl history and, how many guys have gone over 100 yards in the Super Bowl recently?
Rushing?
Rushing.
It didn't happen last year because Barkley did nothing.
57.
Yeah, okay, 57.
The answer of the last running back, I think I've got it, that went over 100 yards in the Super Bowl was in 2020, Damian Williams against the 49ers.
Come on.
Yeah. Before that,
Damian Williams.
Before that, 2015, Marshawn Lynch.
All right. Yep.
Frank Gore, 110. Thomas Jones, 112. Dominique Rhodes, 113. You are getting not the big names, the big guys. I guess the last time a franchise, when Seattle went to the Super Bowl with a big rushing attack, and it's Shaun Alexander. Shaun Alexander had 95.
Okay.
Michael Pittman, 124 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2003.
Yeah, we're going way back now.
Way back.
And they lost that game.
Right. It used to be that in the Emmitt Smith years, he's over 100 multiple times. Terrell Davis is over 100 multiple times.
Yeah.
Timmy Smith in 1988 was 204. Thurman had 135 in a game. But the last time we had a 100-yard rusher in the Super Bowl, it has been once in the last decade, and the guy's name is Damian Williams.
Damian Williams.
So
right.
I don't know that's – I don't like to – point to any one of these stats and say this means it won't happen. It's because it's not predictive. It's just the game has not often been the league's best rusher running on a defense.
Right.
It's very rare for it to be that. It's not often the league's number one passer in yards, but it usually is elite quarterbacks. And the Bills have both of these things, right? They have an elite runner and an elite quarterback. And part of me wants to say hey, if I got an elite runner, an elite quarterback, and I've got a coach that can coach up a defense, which he has been doing this year, then I've got a lot of pieces that I like. And let's see what that looks like. Let's see how that goes. So, I don't know. I'm just trying to talk myself through how can I be thinking they're going to win, and I won't pick against them, but I'm not really confident they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not really confident in anything right now.
I think at this point, if you're picking them to beat the Jags on Sunday, I don't see any way you would pick against them until we get to the Super Bowl. Because I don't see anybody. I mean, that's
Houston,
my feeling.
Houston could scare a lot of people.
Houston would be the thing, but if they beat Jacksonville, it depends how it looks, I guess. If they beat the Jags, in a low-scoring game and Lawrence throws up all over himself and he just, doesn't have it, and they win a game, low-scoring and Cook's running, but it's maybe not even – maybe it's a little gross. Maybe you get a pick six and you win 20-10. That might not give everyone total confidence that the offense is going to go into Houston and have a day. But if they beat the Jags in a thrilling game where it's like 35-31 and Allen has a big game and Cook has a big game, then I think everyone's going to be riding high. Like, all right, they're more ready now. They're more ready now to go beat Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter and DeMeco Ryans. Like, go do it. So I think maybe this game would depend who would pick them to lose to the Houston Texans. I'll say right now, there's nobody else in the conference I picked them to lose to.
Then Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, and maybe I would get there on Houston, depending how Sunday looked. But like you said, right now, I think I would pick them to beat the Texans. So I wouldn't get there until the Super Bowl after this week.
Yeah.
And even this week, I've come down a little bit. I'm more like pick 'em right now.
Well, you're not wearing Jags gear today.
No,
so
I
nice.
overcorrected.
That's nice.
I broke my 2 logo rule.
You got Bills on Bills.
Bills on Bills, yeah.
I also follow the 2 logo rule, usually.
I felt like it was necessary after showing up in teal yesterday.
Right. 803-0550, Football Friday. Who wins and what's the story of the game? Let's have your predictions. Let's talk about it. Yesterday, I was listening to the afternoon show. A lot of the calls were about like Mike McDaniel, which I'm sure we can talk about that at some point. But here we are, the day before super wild card weekend begins. It's Bills Jaguars, and this matchup. I don't know that everyone agrees this is the toughest of anything in the AFC. I think you have plenty of people that would respect Houston, and some that would, of course, respect Denver. And New England did beat them. And also was cruising to victory until they, completely fell apart. So, they could lose to anybody. They were competitive against the Browns. Like, why do I take the Steelers as not any threat at all and not real? They lost to the Browns 2 weeks ago, and the Bills had to really eke one out against the Browns. So, who knows? We all know this team can play a sloppy game. We all know this team can get beat by Michael Penix.
Right.
Like, they can have a bad day. The question is, can they avoid that? And on McDermott, like, to me, I just said Josh Allen Legacy Month. If they were to get to the Super Bowl or win it, like, that's, of course, Legacy Month for Josh Allen. But it would be the firmest stamp in McDermott, like, statue outside the stadium. I know, like, hey, your coach wins the Super Bowl. Of course, he's officially a legend. Just the way this season has gone, I feel like he has started to win people over a bit, and this would go a long way. Like, we'll see what this defense is able to do. Can they fluster and confuse Trevor Lawrence, who's coming in as the hottest quarterback in football? If they can, then, like, all right.
Yeah.
That's feather in the cap that we talk about for years and years and years.
Yeah. I heard some good breakdowns that McDermott, what he likes to do in the playoffs, actually might be good against Trevor Lawrence. He'll just pack the middle, make you check it down, and like not allow the big throws,
and that's all they want to do.
And that Trevor Lawrence is a quarterback that like once in a while he feels that like I got to take the big shot at some point, kind of like how Allen has been at points in his career. Lawrence is like that, except he doesn't have quite the same physical tools to pull it off as often, and that could be good. That could be good for this matchup. And if that happens, where McDermott gets a couple mistakes or they, their run game holds up. Like, and I think there's a good chance that their run game holds up. That's kind of why I'm growing in confidence, too, is it's the 2 run games on either side. That the Bills' defense has been a little bit better against the run as of late, a little bit better. Still not great. They're playing a team that has not been running the ball well at all.
Well, yeah. That's why I flipped the other side, because a run game never knocks them out of the playoffs.
Right, that too. And on the other side, their stats about the Jags like never facing the type of run game that the Bills have, where they'll go heavy and 2 tight ends on the field or 3 tight ends on the field, Gilliam on the field, and how they're really largely untested in that way. And that also I watched some of the two Colts games. It was like I'm not a film watcher. You could just see like, oh, they just got everybody at the line of scrimmage because they know Riley Leonard's in the game. Daniel Jones left, and then Leonard started the second game. They're just gonna run it. Or Rivers started the second game. Like, they're just going to run it. Let's put 8 people in the box, and we'll stop Jonathan Taylor. And when Allen's your quarterback,
can't do that.
Even with the current state of the passing game not being the same as it's been in the past, I don't think you do that against the Bills defense.
That's what I thought about, like, the Bills against the Eagles was we're going to stack and do everything to stop Barkley, and the other guy is Jalen Hurts, who I more and more think is, like, bad. Like, why did they have success against Philadelphia 2 weeks ago? It's because they stopped the run, and Jalen Hurts is bad. Like, they can easily fluster him. He didn't complete a pass in the second half. I thought he should have had one completion to Devontae Smith, but whatever.
And is there something to be said for, like, this might sound like it's a point against the Bills too, but that defense right now feels more like a 111th defense in Jacksonville. That I'm not.
Then the Bills.
Oh man, how do I stop T.J. Watt in this game in his prime? How do I stop Chris Jones? Not even compared to the Bills, but compared to like what Allen could do against them, what the run game could do against them, what just anyone in the playoffs could do against a defense that it's not really loaded with all pro talent all over the place. It's more the sum of the parts.
That's right. I would say Josh Hines Allen has the potential to
wreck a game
to do some stuff.
He's good, but I don't even do that with him, and I think he's their best player on that side of the ball.
Right.
Devin Lloyd is good. Like I think they aren't they kind of like the Bills defense in that they've got like those two would be top of list. Maybe Benford would be on this list for you for the Bills, or maybe
Cole Bishop.
Cole Bishop would be on that list.
Cole
for the
Bishop
Bills.
is my guy for this game.
Yeah,
Cole Bishop's my guy.
Are the best two players on defense for the Jags that much better than the best two players on defense for the Bills?
No, I don't think so. I think the Jags' identity is the offense. And, like narratives and stuff, Brandon Beane has said in the past how you lose shows you what you were missing. And if they lose to the Jags, plenty of people kind of guess what that will be. Because we kind of already know what it is. How could they lose? If they're unable to run the ball, that doesn't mean like, oh, we needed to run it. We know that's what you're built to do.
Right.
If they can't stop the Jaguars, does that mean like, oh, well, we need a full offseason of defense? Like, well, you might need more changes over there, but we know really, really firmly what they're good at, who they are. We just kind of don't know how much it's going to bite them each and every week. Mm-hmm. They're very consistently inconsistent, but we know what the problems will be. When they lose, it looks the same.
We usually know what they want to do going into a game.
Yeah, and when they lose, it kind of looks the same. Like, their defense doesn't have any answers because the pass rush is a little bit weak, and somebody carved them up like Burrow.
Yeah.
I think about the Bengals game for this one. I think about a couple different games where you're playing a half a team, and if you're playing against Burrow, you need the pick six because otherwise it doesn't look like you're getting stops. Right. Do they need that against Trevor Lawrence? Maybe. That's where Cole.
Yeah, I think they might.
That's where Cole Bishop's my guy. They might need to turn him over. And Bishop's had a couple of huge plays in huge games this year. He picked off Mahomes. He picked off Baker. Mm-hmm. He's been big for them. So I'm looking for Cole Bishop to have a game and to be activated and just weaponized for these Bills. His arc this year has been great, coming from we're looking for somebody to play next to Taylor Rapp. Mm-hmm. That's what McDermott said this preseason. And then here's Bishop, like, now we're looking for somebody to play next to Bishop, and it's Jordan Poyer steps in.
Right.
So anyway, there's the stream of consciousness on this game on a Friday.
It really just might come down to which quarterback loses it a little bit. That each quarterback's got an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other shoulder, and which quarterback's going to listen to the devil. Because they're both very much like that.
Yeah.
But I think Allen historically has done probably a better job than Lawrence at staying in rhythm. He talked this week also. I mean, the fact that he's talking like this might lead you to think that he won't. But the fact that he's talking about, introspecting and like looking back on plays that have been left on the field, will he not go nuts and run 15 yards backwards and take sacks?
Let's
or
hope.
What does he do on... Sometimes it works. What was he doing 4th and 1 like he did last year against Denver? Last year he chucked it to the back of the end zone to Ty Johnson.
Yeah.
35 yards down the field. Will he do that again this year, or is he looking for a 4-yard pass? Like, what does he do What does he do at the end of games? That needs to be a question, too. In a playoff game 2 years against the Chiefs, he had Diggs over the middle for a first down to keep the clock running, and he went for it all. He went for Shakir in the end zone. Does he do that again? Like, no, guessing at what his mental space will be, I think, is as big a factor as anything in this game.
It's fresh in his head to take checkdowns. I mean, he said the self-scout with Joe Brady was like, look at all the stuff left on the field, and then he talked about his feet and this and that. Anyway.
And I can't even decide, like, what's better. Because, again, like, that Denver play last year, that changed the game.
Yeah.
That was 10-7 at the end of the third quarter. That game didn't get ugly until the fourth. We were into the third quarter, and it was a 3-point football game, and the Bills were going for it on fourth down. If they get stopped, Broncos get the ball in the third quarter, down 3. And Allen, like, he pretty much nailed in the coffin, the game right there. So sometimes I almost feel like you don't want to tell him not to do it, but then, of course, that could get you in trouble. It's tough.
803-0550. Who will be the Bills' Matthias Samuelson? There's your Sabres crossover.
That guy. Norris Trophy.
Scored a goal last night. Sabres win in New York, beating the Rangers. It got tight for a minute, and they put it away. So the Sabres have another win and are in a playoff spot, too. So we'll get you some highlights of the Sabres game, talk about that a little bit. I haven't reached out to Paul yet. We'll wake him up. Sabres win and have a 5-game homestand, which is juicy, with the Ducks starting first. Some Western Conference team, the Ducks come in, the Wild come in, and they're in a playoff spot.